Getting started a little late. The proceeding took a little longer than expected. First of all, I'm Andrew Murray. I'm the district attorney here in Henderson, also Polk, Transylvania. My staff that has been handling the Stroupe case and handling all serious crimes, Doug Mundy to my right and Beth Deeroff. The family of Tommy Bryson is here, his wife Lynn, his sons Joey and Rick, and a plethora of other family around, cousins and all types of extended family are behind me. Henderson County Sheriff Lowell Griffin is behind me. Transylvania County Sheriff David Mahoney to my left here. They represent not only their counties, but the large contingent of law enforcement that was involved in the Stroupe case. Today, defendant Phillip Michael Stroupe II pled guilty to first-degree murder for the killing of Tommy Bryson. He also pled to 2 counts of robbery with a dangerous weapon and 1 count of kidnapping. The Honorable Superior Court Judge Joseph Crosswhite sentenced Stroupe to life without parole on the murder charge and 25 to 33 years to run consecutively on the robbery and kidnapping charges. Stroupe was and is an extremely dangerous and evil man. I'd go so far as to call him a monster. That monster will forever spend his life behind bars for his heinous and atrocious acts. Stroupe ruthlessly and senselessly robbed all of us of the salt of the earth, God-fearing man that would do anything for anybody. No one feels this more than the Bryson family, who lost a beloved husband, father, brother, and grandfather for reasons we can never fathom. It is my prayer that the sentence imposed today will provide some sense of closure to everyone that has been hurt by this monster. This prayer extends especially to the Bryson family. May God place his comfort blanket around all of you. This plea limits the right to appeal and prevents the family from living through a multiple-week trial where every gruesome detail of Stroupe's cowardly and heinous acts would have to been relived. I'm humbled and, quite frankly, in awe of the Bryson family. They extended mercy to a man that unquestionably deserved to die. To the Bryson family and this entire community, my office thanks you for the honor and privilege of representing you and obtaining the closest possible thing to justice that we could do when a precious life has been senselessly taken. May God bless and protect our community. Now Lynn Bryson is going to say a few words, followed by Joey Bryson, and then we will take a few questions. Afterwards, we will hand out a press release to all of you. Lynn?
First of all, I want to thank my beloved community, Mills River. They have stood behind us, beside us for the last 4 years. I also want to thank all the many, many thousand people who searched for Tommy. I can't name all the organizations that was behind it. For me, it was a nightmare. I don't even remember so many things. I just remember how many people were there surrounding us with love and support, because this was the worst nightmare that anybody could ever face. You don't think something like this could ever happen to you, but it does. And there were so many people who felt love for us that we didn't even know. They didn't even know Tommy. But I really want you to realize that God is in control of everything that happens in this world. And he can take evil and he can make good out of it. And I think I have seen that today. There will be good that comes from this. But mostly I want people to know how much the Bryson family thanks you. My husband was a very quiet man. he didn't bring any publicity to himself. He just walked a quiet life. And he would be astonished at the people that have been around him to support him and help our family get through all this. I especially want to thank a young woman that I don't know her name, but she was in charge of getting the candlelight vigil through Mills River in honor of Tommy, which gave glory to God. I just want to thank her with all my heart, though I do not know who she is. But I want to thank this community, all the counties around us who helped us, Tennessee, McDowell, Pennsylvania. I can't name them all, but there were thousands of people in that hot July sun and that rain searching for Tommy, and I thank you for that. And I also am grateful for his cousin who did find him and bring him home to us. And now Tommy is with the Father, and that's where we want him to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. My name is Joey Bryson. I'm Tommy's youngest son. To concur with what my mom said, I want to thank all the law enforcement, EMS, and fire department, search and rescue teams that helped us what seems like years ago. It's like Mom said, we have a very, very special community, and I don't think anyone really understands how blessed that we are to live in such a wonderful place. Before I continue, I just want to say that God is good. He's always good. He always will be. Sometimes we don't understand why things happen in this world, but we have to trust that the Lord's going to get us through any situation that we deal with. And after 4 long, frustrating years, and let's be honest, sometimes a circus of a trial, it's finally come to an end. And I did want to address one thing that I know that's probably going to be asked of us quite a bit, so I'll just go ahead and address it now. I'm sure after 4 years, people are going to wonder why did we decide not to pursue the death penalty. Well, I have 3 reasons why. And on behalf of the family, I'm going to share that with you. Number 1, we chose to do something that Mr. Stroupe couldn't do, and that was to show mercy. And it's like we had said in court, God's going to be Mr. Stroupe's judge, not the Bryson family. Secondly, I do want to say that after 4 years of studying and researching this, we've come to realize that we do in fact have a broken justice system in this country and in this state in some cases. How someone can be kidnapped and murdered and it takes 4 years to come to trial is beyond me to understand. Arrested men today get bonded out for what seems like pocket change just to turn around and do the same crime all over again. At what point does this stop? And the death penalty and the process to get there is definitely not what it once was. Seems like a lost cause in this state. It's a sad fact, and we've realized this throughout the past 4 years, that prisoners in this country seem to have more rights than the family of victims. At every turn in this case, our family has to sit back and bend to the will of the evil man. And I'm a history teacher, and I teach a lot about our country's founding fathers. I'm not really sure how our founding fathers would feel about the direction of our justice system right now. But lastly, I just want to say this. Until someone's walked in our shoes, no one's going to fully understand what we've been through. We'll never completely get over this. But after 4 years, however, we have slowly begun to heal. And I do believe that time does heal. And after considering, like Mr. Murray said, the length of this trial that it was going to be, the witnesses who were going to testify, and the evidence that was going to be presented, we just came to the conclusion that we just didn't want to relive this nightmare all over again. It just wouldn't be good for any of us. I know my dad wouldn't want us to have to live through this. My dad would want us to live on and enjoy life and not dwell on sadness. Last thing I do want to say, and I want everyone to understand and make sure this is perfectly clear, that this decision that our family made had absolutely nothing to do with the district attorney's office. Mr. Murray and his staff have been fantastic at doing anything that we asked them to do. They've been supportive of us from the day he came into office. This has nothing to do with what happened to Mr. Greg Newman, the former district attorney. And regardless of what some people may think, justice has been served today. Maybe not to the extent what maybe is deserved, but the fact that Phillip Stroupe will never see freedom again is justice for us. And we're relieved that we are finally rid of this evil man out of our life forever. Thank you.
Does anyone have questions? Yes, ma'am.
Andrew, can you speak a bit about how this came to be? Obviously, this was moving towards a trial. This is a huge announcement today. What were the discussions you had with the public defender that represented him, and how did this happen?
So it happened because the Stroupe family just collectively finally decided that with the time and looking at a trial, and as we just said,
Bryson family.
I'm sorry, Bryson family, I apologize, that it just simply would have been taxing COVID. You do not know what's going to happen with COVID, and getting justice and closure. Then it was just dealing with the defense counsel and them going up to see their client and back and forth. So it's been the last 2 weeks getting to this point where we concluded today with the entrance of the sentence. Yes, ma'am.
This is a question for the family of Willing. Obviously, you said, a long 4 years and very emotional days, anyone can imagine. If there was one more thing that you wanted to say to your husband, father, if there was anything else that he could know, is there anything you would want to say to him?
If you want to step up.
What I would want to say to my dad? I don't know. There's a ton of things I'd like to say to my dad. Deer season's right around the corner. Tar Heels look good this year. I think Braves look pretty good, yeah. My dad wasn't ready to leave this world. He encountered an evil man, and this man, for some reason, thought he had the right to take my father from this world, and that's not right. I think my brother and I talked about this a lot. I think I would have just liked to have been able to say goodbye to my father. Now, he was left in a cornfield for 6 days. And that's hard. And he robbed our family of that right to be able to say goodbye to my father when he left this world. So that's what I would like to say. Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
My name's Rick Bryson.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. And Bryson's had a long day. We're going to let them go get some rest. Thank you.
I do have one more question. The judge closed the courtroom when it was signed off on, the video was signed off on.
Courtroom was never closed. It was open the entire time.
Okay, well, I was told otherwise.
Courtroom was open the entire time. Doors were open. That was an open courtroom. Thank you very much.
Mr. District Attorney. May I? You can come. You don't have to do it.
You want me singly? Well, let me get the family back in and I'll come out. Okay? Come on in.